Picture this. You're sitting alone, replaying a moment from years ago, a decision you made, a word you said, or an opportunity you let slip away. The weight of regret feels heavy, like a shadow you can't shake. We've all been there, haven't we? That lingering feeling of what if or if only can haunt us, stealing our peace and keeping us stuck in the past. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from that cycle? A way to transform regret into growth and even wisdom? That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy practiced by thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus, offers timeless tools to help us navigate life's challenges, including regret. It's not about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about understanding what's within our control, embracing what's happened, and using it to move forward with clarity and purpose. In this video, we'll explore 25 Stoic practices specifically designed to help you overcome regret. These aren't just abstract ideas, they're actionable steps you can start using today to reframe your mindset, let go of the past, and live more fully in the present. From the dichotomy of control to the art of Amor Fati, each practice builds on the next, offering a roadmap to resilience and inner peace. Whether you're struggling with a recent mistake or carrying the weight of years-old regrets, these principles can help you find freedom and clarity. So, if you're ready to turn regret into a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block, let's dive in. By the end of this video, you'll have a toolkit of Stoic strategies to help you live with less regret and more intention. Let's get started. Now, let's dive into the first Stoic practice, the dichotomy of control. This principle is at the heart of Stoic philosophy and serves as a foundation for overcoming regret. The idea is simple yet profound. In life, some things are within our control and others are not. What we say, how we think, and the actions we take, these are within our power. But external events, other people's opinions, and outcomes beyond our influence, those are not. Regret often creeps in when we try to control what's uncontrollable. Think about it. How much time have you spent wishing you could change the past, alter someone else's behavior, or force a different outcome? These are all things outside your control, and dwelling on them only deepens the sense of regret. The Stoics teach us to redirect our energy toward what we can control, our own thoughts, choices, and responses. By focusing on what's within your power, you shift your mindset from helplessness to empowerment. Instead of being weighed down by regret over things you couldn't change, you start to see opportunities for growth in the present moment. This practice isn't about ignoring the past or pretending mistakes didn't happen. It's about accepting what's done and choosing to focus on what you can do now. For example, if you regret a missed opportunity, instead of fixating on what you could have done differently, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I prepare better next time? This shift in perspective transforms regret from a burden into a teacher. It's a powerful way to reclaim your peace and move forward with intention. So the next time you find yourself caught in the cycle of regret, pause and ask, is this within my control? If not, let it go. If it is, take action. This simple yet transformative practice can help you break free from the grip of regret and live with greater clarity and purpose. Now that we've explored the dichotomy of control, let's move on to how you can apply this principle in your daily life. Now that we've explored the core idea of the dichotomy of control, let's take a closer look at how you can put this principle into action in your everyday life. One of the most powerful ways to apply this practice is by letting go of past mistakes. Imagine you're replaying a moment in your mind, a decision you regret, a word you wish you hadn't said, or an opportunity you missed. The Stoic approach isn't to dwell on what's already happened, but to ask yourself, can I change this now? If the answer is no, then it's time to release it. For instance, let's say you regret not speaking up in a meeting at work. Instead of endlessly replaying the moment, focus on what you can control moving forward. You might decide to prepare more thoroughly for the next meeting or practice speaking up in smaller settings to build confidence. This shift from regret to action not only reduces the emotional weight of the past, but also empowers you to create better outcomes in the future. Another practical application is letting go of external outcomes. Think about a time when you worked hard on a project only to have it rejected or overlooked. It's natural to feel disappointed, but the Stoic perspective reminds us that the outcome wasn't entirely within your control. What was within your control was the effort you put in, the skills you developed, and the lessons you learned. By focusing on these aspects, you can reframe the experience as a stepping stone rather than a setback. Here's a simple exercise to help you practice this. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on what went well and what didn't. For the things that didn't go as planned, ask yourself, was this within my control? If not, acknowledge it and let it go. If it was, consider what you can do differently next time. This daily habit helps you build resilience and gradually reduces the hold that regret has on your life. By consistently applying the dichotomy of control, you'll find yourself less burdened by what you can't change and more focused on what you can. It's a practice that not only reduces regret but also cultivates a sense of inner peace and clarity. With this foundation in place, let's turn our attention to the next Stoic practice, Memento Mori, or remembering death, and how it can help us live with greater purpose and intention. Now, let's shift our focus to the second Stoic practice, Memento Mori, or remembering death. At first glance, this might sound like a somber or even morbid idea, but in Stoicism, it's a powerful tool for living a more intentional and regret-free life. The concept is simple yet profound. By regularly reflecting on the inevitability of death, we're reminded of the fleeting nature of life. This awareness helps us prioritize what truly matters and encourages us to act with purpose in the present moment. Think about it. How often do we put off the things that matter most, telling ourselves we'll get to them someday? Maybe it's a dream you've been postponing, a relationship you've been neglecting, or a personal goal you've been delaying. Memento Mori challenges us to confront the reality that someday isn't guaranteed. It's not about living in fear of death, but about using the awareness of it as a motivator to live fully and authentically. For example, imagine you've been meaning to reconnect with an old friend but keep pushing it off because life feels too busy. Reflecting on Memento Mori might prompt you to pick up the phone and make that call today, rather than waiting for the perfect moment that may never come. By taking action now, you not only strengthen your relationships but also reduce the likelihood of future regret. This practice also helps us let go of trivial worries and distractions. When we remember that our time is limited, we're less likely to waste energy on things that don't align with our values or contribute to our growth. Instead, we focus on what truly enriches our lives, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing meaningful work, or simply being present in the moment. To incorporate Memento Mori into your daily life, try setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on your mortality. You might ask yourself questions like, if today were my last day, would I be proud of how I spent it? Or, what would I regret not doing if my time was suddenly cut short? These reflections can serve as a gentle nudge to align your actions with your priorities and live with greater intention. By embracing Memento Mori, you'll find that it doesn't bring despair but rather clarity and focus. It's a reminder to make the most of the time you have, to cherish the people and experiences that matter, and to let go of the small stuff that doesn't. This perspective not only minimizes regret, but also helps you live a life that feels rich, meaningful, and true to who you are. With this in mind, let's move forward to explore how you can actively live with Memento Mori as a guiding principle in your daily life. Now that we've explored the philosophy behind Memento Mori, let's dive into practical ways to bring this practice into your everyday life. One of the most effective methods is through journaling. Set aside a few minutes each day to write about your thoughts on mortality. This doesn't have to be heavy or depressing. It's about creating space for reflection. You might start with prompts like, "What would I want to be remembered for?" or "What actions today align with my deepest values?" Journaling helps you process these ideas and turn them into actionable insights. Another way to live with Memento Mori is by setting daily intentions. Each morning, take a moment to ask yourself, "If today were my last, how would I want to spend it?" This simple question can guide your decisions throughout the day, helping you focus on what truly matters. Maybe it means prioritizing time with family, tackling a project you've been putting off, or simply being more present in your interactions. By starting your day with this mindset, you'll naturally gravitate toward actions that minimize regret and maximize meaning. You can also create small reminders to keep Memento Mori at the forefront of your mind. This could be as simple as a note on your mirror that says, "Make today count," or a recurring alarm on your phone with a message like, "What's one thing you can do right now to live authentically?" These gentle nudges help you stay grounded in the present and remind you to act with purpose. For those who prefer a more visual approach, consider creating a Memento Mori board or digital collage. Fill it with images, quotes, or symbols that represent what matters most to you, your relationships, passions, and goals. Place it somewhere you'll see often, like your workspace or home screen. This visual reminder can inspire you to live intentionally and make choices that align with your values. Finally, practice gratitude as part of your Memento Mori routine. At the end of each day, reflect on what you're thankful for. This could be a person, an experience, or even a small moment of joy. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you lack to what you have, reinforcing the idea that life is precious and worth savoring. By combining gratitude with the awareness of mortality, you'll cultivate a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Living with Memento Mori isn't about dwelling on the end, but about using the awareness of it to enrich your life. These practices, journaling, setting intentions, creating reminders, and practicing gratitude, can help you live with greater clarity, purpose, and joy. As you integrate these steps into your routine, you'll find that Memento Mori becomes less of a philosophical concept and more of a guiding force in your daily life. With these tools in hand, let's move forward to explore the next Stoic practice, Amor Fati, or loving your fate. This powerful mindset teaches us to embrace everything that happens, including our past mistakes, as essential parts of our journey. Now that we've explored how Memento Mori can guide us to live with purpose, let's turn our attention to another transformative Stoic practice, Amor Fati, or loving your fate. This powerful concept invites us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, both the good and the bad, as essential parts of our journey. At its core, Amor Fati is about accepting the past, present, and future without resistance, seeing every experience as an opportunity for growth. Imagine your life as a story, with each event, whether joyful or painful, contributing to the narrative. Amor Fati teaches us to love every chapter, even the ones we might wish to rewrite. It's not about ignoring the challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about recognizing that every moment, including our mistakes, has shaped who we are today. By embracing this mindset, we can transform regret into acceptance and even gratitude. Think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you missed an opportunity, made a poor decision, or faced an unexpected setback. In the moment, it might have felt like a failure, but with Amor Fati, you can reframe that experience as a necessary step in your growth. Perhaps that missed opportunity led you to a better path, or that mistake taught you a valuable lesson. When we learn to love our fate, we stop fighting against what has already happened and start finding meaning in it. This practice is deeply rooted in the Stoic belief that we cannot control external events, but we can control how we respond to them. By choosing to accept and even cherish our fate, we free ourselves from the weight of regret. Instead of dwelling on what could have been, we focus on what is and what can be. This shift in perspective allows us to move forward with clarity and resilience. Amor Fati also encourages us to see challenges as opportunities. When life throws obstacles in our way, instead of resisting or resenting them, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this, or how can this make me stronger? This mindset doesn't just reduce regret, it empowers us to face adversity with courage and curiosity. In essence, Amor Fati is about finding beauty in the imperfect, the unexpected, and the uncontrollable. It's about trusting that every twist and turn in our lives has a purpose, even if we can't see it right away. By adopting this practice, we can cultivate a sense of peace and fulfillment, knowing that our fate, whatever it may be, is something to be embraced rather than feared. As we continue, we'll explore practical ways to cultivate Amor Fati in your daily life, so you can begin to see your past, present, and future through this empowering lens. Now that we've explored the philosophy behind Amor Fati, let's dive into some practical ways to cultivate this mindset in your daily life. One of the most effective exercises is reframing negative experiences. Start by recalling a past event that initially felt like a failure or setback. Instead of focusing on what went wrong, ask yourself, what did I gain from this experience? Or how did this shape me into who I am today? By shifting your perspective, you can begin to see even the toughest moments as valuable lessons rather than sources of regret. Another powerful tool is creating a gratitude list specifically for past challenges. Take a few minutes to write down the difficulties you've faced and the ways they've contributed to your growth. For example, maybe a job loss led you to discover a new passion, or a broken relationship taught you more about your own needs and boundaries. When you actively acknowledge the silver linings in your past, you train your mind to see adversity as a catalyst for growth rather than a burden. You can also practice daily affirmations that reinforce Amor Fati. Each morning, try saying something like, I accept my past and trust that it has prepared me for the future, or I embrace every experience as part of my unique journey. These simple statements can help you internalize the idea that your fate, no matter how unpredictable, is something to be cherished. Another exercise is to visualize your life as a tapestry, with every thread both light and dark, contributing to the overall beauty of the design. When you encounter a challenge, remind yourself that it's just one thread in a much larger picture. This visualization can help you maintain a sense of perspective and appreciate the complexity of your journey. Finally, consider journaling about moments when you've successfully embraced Amor Fati. Reflect on how it felt to accept a situation you couldn't change and how it influenced your mindset moving forward. Writing about these experiences not only reinforces the practice but also helps you track your progress over time. By incorporating these exercises into your routine, you can gradually shift your mindset toward loving your fate. Remember, Amor Fati isn't about denying pain or difficulty, it's about finding meaning and strength in every experience. As we move forward, we'll explore another Stoic practice that builds on this foundation, helping you further reduce regret and embrace life's uncertainties with confidence. Now that we've explored how embracing Amor Fati can transform regret into acceptance, let's turn our attention to another powerful Stoic practice, premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. This practice involves mentally preparing for potential challenges or setbacks before they happen. At first glance, it might sound pessimistic, but in reality, it's a profound tool for building resilience and reducing the fear of failure. The idea behind premeditatio malorum is simple yet transformative. By imagining the worst-case scenarios in advance, you strip them of their power to surprise or overwhelm you. Think of it as a mental rehearsal for life's uncertainties. When you've already considered what could go wrong, you're better equipped to handle it calmly and effectively if it does. This doesn't mean dwelling on negativity. It's about preparing yourself so that you can face adversity with clarity and composure. For example, imagine you're about to give a presentation at work. Instead of just hoping everything goes perfectly, take a moment to visualize what might go wrong. What if the technology fails? What if you forget your key points? By mentally walking through these possibilities, you can plan your responses in advance. Maybe you'll prepare a backup plan for the tech or jot down a few notes to keep yourself on track. When you've already thought through these scenarios, you're less likely to panic if they occur, and you'll feel more confident in your ability to adapt. This practice also helps reduce regret by shifting your focus from outcomes to effort. When you've done everything you can to prepare, even if things don't go as planned, you can look back without regret, knowing you gave it your best shot. It's a reminder that life is unpredictable, and while you can't control everything, you can control how you respond. Premeditatio malorum also builds resilience by teaching you to face challenges head-on. Instead of avoiding difficult situations out of fear, you learn to confront them with a sense of readiness. Over time, this mindset reduces the anxiety that often accompanies uncertainty, allowing you to approach life with greater courage and confidence. As we continue, we'll explore how to put this practice into action with specific exercises that can help you integrate premeditatio malorum into your daily routine. By doing so, you'll not only prepare for life's challenges, but also cultivate a mindset that sees setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than sources of regret. Now that we've laid the groundwork for understanding premeditatio malorum, let's dive into how you can actively practice this Stoic exercise in your daily life. The key to making this practice effective is to approach it with intention and structure rather than letting it spiral into unnecessary worry. Here's how you can start. Begin by identifying a situation that feels uncertain or challenging to you. It could be something as simple as a difficult conversation you need to have, or as significant as a major life decision. Once you've pinpointed the scenario, take a few moments to sit quietly and visualize the worst-case outcome. What's the absolute worst that could happen? Picture it in vivid detail, but don't let it overwhelm you. The goal here isn't to dwell on fear, but to prepare for it. For instance, let's say you're worried about an upcoming job interview. Mentally walk through the worst-case scenario. Maybe you stumble over your words, forget key points, or even feel like you completely bombed the interview. Now ask yourself, what would I do if this happened? Would you take a deep breath and refocus? Would you have a backup plan, like bringing notes to jog your memory? By visualizing these challenges and planning your responses, you're equipping yourself to handle them with grace if they arise. Another way to practice premeditatio malorum is to create a mental checklist for potential obstacles. Let's say you're planning a trip. What could go wrong? Maybe your flight gets delayed or you lose your luggage. Mentally rehearse how you'd handle each situation. Would you have travel insurance? Could you pack essentials in your carry-on? This kind of preparation not only reduces anxiety, but also empowers you to act decisively if things don't go as planned. It's also helpful to reflect on past experiences where things didn't go as expected. Think about how you handled those moments. Did you adapt? Did you learn something valuable? Often, looking back at how you've overcome challenges in the past can give you confidence in your ability to face future ones. This reflection reinforces the idea that setbacks are not the end of the world, but opportunities to grow and improve. To make this practice a habit, consider setting aside a few minutes each day or week to mentally rehearse potential challenges. You might even journal about these scenarios, writing down your worst-case fears and the steps you'd take to address them. Over time, this exercise will help you build mental resilience and reduce the fear of the unknown. As we move forward, we'll explore how journaling can further deepen your Stoic practice, helping you process emotions and gain clarity on your experiences. By combining premeditatio malorum with other Stoic tools, you'll develop a mindset that not only prepares you for life's uncertainties, but also transforms regret into a source of strength and growth. Now that we've explored how premeditatio malorum prepares us for life's uncertainties, let's shift our focus to another powerful Stoic practice, journaling for reflection. Journaling has been a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy for centuries, offering a structured way to process emotions, gain clarity, and ultimately release regret. By putting your thoughts on paper, you create a space to examine your experiences objectively, turning what might feel like overwhelming emotions into opportunities for growth and understanding. The act of journaling allows you to step back and observe your thoughts and feelings from a distance. When you write about a regret or a challenging situation, you're no longer caught up in the heat of the moment. Instead, you're able to analyze what happened, why it affected you, and what you can learn from it. This process helps you identify patterns in your behavior and thinking, making it easier to recognize where you might be holding onto unnecessary guilt or self-blame. Over time, this self-awareness can help you let go of regret and focus on what truly matters. One of the most effective ways to use journaling as a Stoic tool is to ask yourself specific, reflective questions. For example, after a difficult day, you might write, "What did I learn from this experience?" or "How can I grow from this mistake?" These questions encourage you to shift your perspective from dwelling on what went wrong to focusing on what you can gain from the situation. By framing your experiences in this way, you transform regret into a teacher rather than a burden. Another approach is to use journaling to practice gratitude even in the face of regret. For instance, you might write, "What am I grateful for in this situation?" or "How has this challenge made me stronger?" This doesn't mean ignoring your feelings or pretending everything is fine. Instead, it's about finding balance, acknowledging the pain while also recognizing the lessons and opportunities for growth. This dual perspective is at the heart of Stoicism, helping you embrace life's ups and downs with equanimity. To make journaling a consistent part of your routine, try setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect and write. You don't need to write pages and pages. Just a few sentences can be enough to process your thoughts and emotions. Over time, this practice will help you build a deeper understanding of yourself and your reactions, making it easier to navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. As we continue, we'll explore how to start a Stoic journal, offering practical steps and prompts to help you get the most out of this transformative practice. By combining journaling with the other Stoic tools we've discussed, you'll develop a mindset that not only helps you overcome regret, but also empowers you to live with greater purpose and clarity. Now that we've seen how journaling can help us process regret and gain clarity, let's dive into the practical steps of starting a Stoic journal. This isn't about creating a perfect record of your thoughts, it's about building a habit of reflection that helps you grow and move forward. The beauty of a Stoic journal lies in its simplicity. You don't need fancy tools or hours of free time. All you need is a notebook, a pen, and a willingness to be honest with yourself. To begin, set aside a specific time each day for journaling. Many people find that mornings or evenings work best, as these are moments of quiet reflection. Start with just 5 to 10 minutes. The key is consistency, not length. Even a few sentences can make a difference. Begin by writing about your day, what happened, how you felt, and what stood out to you. This helps you ground yourself in the present moment and sets the stage for deeper reflection. Next, incorporate Stoic prompts to guide your writing. These questions are designed to help you examine your experiences through a Stoic lens. For example, after describing an event, ask yourself, "What did I learn from this experience?" This shifts your focus from what went wrong to what you can take away from it. Another powerful prompt is, "How can I grow from this mistake?" This encourages you to see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than sources of regret. Another approach is to reflect on your reactions. Ask yourself, "Was my response within my control?" This ties back to the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can influence. By analyzing your actions and emotions, you can identify areas where you might have overreacted or where you handled something well. Over time, this practice helps you develop greater self-awareness and emotional resilience. You can also use your journal to practice gratitude even in difficult moments. Write down 1 or 2 things you're grateful for, no matter how small. This could be a lesson learned, a kind gesture from someone, or simply the fact that you're taking steps to improve. Gratitude helps balance your perspective, reminding you that even in tough times, there are things worth appreciating. Finally, end your journaling session with an intention for the day or the next day. This could be as simple as, "Today I will focus on what I can control," or "Tomorrow I will approach challenges with patience." Setting an intention gives you a clear focus and helps you align your actions with your values. As you continue this practice, you'll find that your journal becomes a trusted companion, a space to process emotions, gain insights, and cultivate a stoic mindset. It's not about perfection, it's about progress, and with each entry, you'll move closer to overcoming regret and living with greater purpose and clarity. Next, we'll explore how practicing gratitude can further enhance your stoic journey, offering another powerful tool for transforming regret into growth. Now that we've explored how journaling can help us process regret and cultivate self-awareness, let's turn our attention to another powerful stoic practice, gratitude. Gratitude is more than just a feel-good habit. It's a mindset that can fundamentally shift how we perceive our lives. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, gratitude helps us reframe our experiences and reduce the weight of regret. This practice has deep roots in Stoicism, where it's seen as a way to align ourselves with the natural order of the universe and find contentment in the present moment. The Stoics believed that everything in life, whether good or bad, happens for a reason. Even challenges and setbacks are opportunities for growth. Gratitude in this context is about recognizing the value in every experience, no matter how difficult. It's not about ignoring pain or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about finding meaning and lessons in what happens to us. This perspective helps us let go of regret by reminding us that even our mistakes and hardships have contributed to who we are today. One of the key benefits of practicing gratitude is that it shifts our focus from what's missing to what's already here. When we're caught up in regret, we often dwell on what we've lost or what we wish we'd done differently. Gratitude pulls us back to the present, helping us appreciate the people, opportunities, and experiences we have right now. This doesn't mean we ignore our struggles, but it does mean we balance them with a sense of appreciation for the good in our lives. To incorporate gratitude into your daily routine, start small. Each day, take a moment to reflect on 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. They can be as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the beauty of a sunset. The act of noticing and acknowledging these moments trains your mind to seek out the positive, even in challenging times. Over time, this practice can help you build a more resilient and optimistic outlook. Another way to deepen your gratitude practice is to reflect on past challenges and find the lessons or silver linings within them. For example, if you regret a past mistake, ask yourself, "What did I learn from this experience?" Or, "How did this help me grow?" By reframing regret as a teacher rather than a burden, you can transform it into a source of strength and wisdom. This aligns with the Stoic belief that every experience, no matter how painful, has value. Gratitude also strengthens our relationships. When we express appreciation for others, we not only uplift them but also reinforce our own sense of connection and belonging. This can be especially powerful when dealing with regret, as it reminds us that we're not alone, we're part of a larger community that supports and values us. A simple thank you note or a heartfelt conversation can go a long way in fostering these connections. As you practice gratitude, you'll likely notice a shift in how you approach life. Regret may still arise, but it won't dominate your thoughts. Instead, you'll find yourself more focused on the present, more appreciative of what you have, and more open to the lessons life has to offer. This is the essence of Stoic gratitude, a practice that not only reduces regret, but also enriches your life with meaning and joy. Next, we'll explore how the Stoic exercise of the view from above can help you gain even greater perspective and clarity in overcoming regret. Now that we've explored the transformative power of gratitude, let's dive into some practical exercises to help you integrate this practice into your daily life. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to cultivate gratitude is by keeping a daily gratitude list. Each day, take a few moments to write down 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be monumental. They can be as small as a sunny morning, a delicious meal, or a kind gesture from a stranger. The key is to train your mind to notice and appreciate the good that's already present in your life, even amidst challenges. Another powerful exercise is to reflect on past blessings. Set aside time each week to think about moments in your life that brought you joy, growth, or connection. Maybe it's a memory of a loved one's support during a tough time, a career milestone you worked hard to achieve, or even a difficult experience that ultimately made you stronger. By revisiting these moments, you remind yourself of the abundance in your life and the resilience you've built over time. This reflection not only fosters gratitude but also helps you see how even the hardest times have contributed to your growth. For a deeper practice, try writing a gratitude letter. Think of someone who has positively impacted your life, whether it's a family member, friend, mentor, or even a stranger who showed you kindness. Write them a letter expressing your appreciation for what they've done and how it has influenced you. You don't have to send the letter for it to be meaningful. The act of writing it alone can shift your perspective and deepen your sense of gratitude. If you do choose to share it, it can also strengthen your connection with that person. If you're looking for a more immediate exercise, try the gratitude pause. Throughout your day, whenever you feel stressed or overwhelmed, take a moment to pause and identify one thing you're grateful for in that moment. It could be the comfort of your surroundings, the support of a colleague, or even the opportunity to learn from a challenge. This quick practice can help you reset your mindset and approach difficulties with a sense of balance and perspective. Finally, consider incorporating gratitude into your evening routine. Before bed, spend a few minutes reflecting on the day and identifying moments or experiences you're thankful for. This practice not only helps you end the day on a positive note, but also trains your mind to seek out the good, even in ordinary moments. Over time, this habit can transform how you view your life, making regret feel less overwhelming and joy more accessible. By making gratitude a regular part of your life, you'll find that it becomes easier to let go of regret and embrace the present. These exercises are simple, but their impact can be profound, helping you build a mindset of appreciation and resilience. Next, we'll explore how the Stoic exercise of the view from above can help you gain even greater clarity and perspective in overcoming regret. Now, let's shift our focus to a powerful Stoic practice known as the view from above. This exercise invites you to step back and imagine your life from a cosmic perspective, as if you were looking down at the world from a great height. The goal is to gain clarity and reduce the weight of regret by seeing your life as part of a much larger picture. When you zoom out, the things that once felt overwhelming or insurmountable often shrink in significance, allowing you to approach them with a calmer, more balanced mindset. The view from above is rooted in the Stoic belief that our individual lives are just small threads in the vast tapestry of the universe. By imagining yourself from this elevated viewpoint, you can see how your struggles, mistakes, and regrets are part of a much grander story. This perspective doesn't diminish the importance of your experiences, but helps you see them in context, reminding you that life is fleeting and that many of the things we regret are temporary or beyond our control. To practice the view from above, start by finding a quiet space where you can sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths to center yourself. Then begin to visualize the world from above, first your immediate surroundings, then your city, your country, and eventually the entire planet. Picture the Earth as a tiny blue dot in the vastness of space, surrounded by countless stars and galaxies. As you do this, reflect on the fact that your life, with all its challenges and triumphs, is just one small part of this immense universe. This exercise can be particularly helpful when you're grappling with regret. For example, if you're dwelling on a past mistake, try to see it from this cosmic perspective. Ask yourself, how much will this matter in a year, in 10 years? In the grand scheme of the universe, often, this shift in perspective can help you release the grip of regret and focus on what truly matters, living a meaningful life in the present moment. The view from above also encourages humility and gratitude. When you see how small your life is in the context of the cosmos, it becomes easier to let go of ego-driven concerns and appreciate the beauty and interconnectedness of existence. This practice doesn't erase regret, but it helps you see it as a natural part of the human experience, one that can teach you valuable lessons if you're willing to learn. By regularly practicing the view from above, you can cultivate a sense of peace and perspective that makes it easier to navigate life's challenges. It's a reminder that while regret is a part of life, it doesn't have to define you. Instead, it can be a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and resilience. Next, we'll explore how to apply this powerful exercise in your daily life so you can make the most of its transformative potential. Now that we've explored the concept of the view from above, let's dive into how you can actively apply this practice in your daily life. This visualization exercise is designed to help you step into that cosmic perspective and reflect on your place in the universe, making it easier to let go of regret and embrace a more balanced mindset. To begin, find a quiet space where you can sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your body and mind to relax. As you settle into this calm state, start by visualizing your immediate surroundings. Picture the room you're in, the objects around you, and the space you occupy. Now slowly expand your perspective. Imagine rising above your home, seeing your neighborhood from above, then your city, and eventually your entire country. Keep zooming out until you can picture the Earth as a whole, a small blue sphere floating in the vastness of space. As you hold this image in your mind, take a moment to reflect on the scale of the universe. Think about the billions of stars, galaxies, and planets that exist beyond our own. Consider how your life, with all its challenges, triumphs, and regrets, is just one tiny part of this immense cosmic tapestry. This perspective can help you see that many of the things you regret are fleeting in the grand scheme of things. They are moments in time, not the entirety of your existence. Now bring your focus back to the specific regret or challenge you're grappling with. Ask yourself, how much will this matter in a year, in 10 years? In the context of the universe, often, this shift in perspective can help you release the weight of regret and refocus on what truly matters, living a meaningful life in the present moment. To deepen this practice, you might also reflect on the interconnectedness of all things. Consider how your actions, even the ones you regret, are part of a larger web of cause and effect. Every experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to your growth and the unfolding of your story. This realization can help you see regret not as a burden, but as a teacher, offering lessons that shape your path forward. Finally, as you conclude this exercise, take a moment to express gratitude. Gratitude for the opportunity to learn, to grow, and to be part of something so vast and beautiful. When you open your eyes, carry this sense of perspective with you throughout your day. Let it remind you that while regret is a natural part of life, it doesn't have to define you. Instead, it can be a stepping stone toward greater wisdom and resilience. By practicing the view from above regularly, you'll find it easier to approach life's challenges with calm and clarity. It's a powerful tool for reducing the weight of regret and focusing on what truly matters. Next, we'll explore another Stoic practice that builds on this sense of perspective, helping you align your actions with your deepest values. Now that we've explored the power of perspective through the view from above, let's turn our attention to something equally transformative, the Stoic practice of focusing on virtue. At the heart of Stoicism is the belief that living a virtuous life is the highest good. Virtue, in this context, isn't about perfection or moral superiority. It's about aligning your actions with qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline. When you live in accordance with these principles, you naturally minimize regret because you're acting in a way that reflects your deepest values. Think about it this way: regret often arises when we act in ways that conflict with who we want to be. Maybe we've made choices out of fear, selfishness, or impulsiveness, and later we feel a sense of disappointment in ourselves. But when we focus on virtue, we're guided by a clear moral compass. Every decision becomes an opportunity to practice wisdom, to act with courage, or to treat others with fairness. Even if things don't go as planned, we can take comfort in knowing we acted with integrity. For example, imagine you're faced with a difficult decision at work. You could take the easy route, cutting corners to avoid conflict or gain a quick advantage. But if you choose instead to act with honesty and fairness, even if it's harder in the moment, you're less likely to look back with regret. Why? Because you've stayed true to your principles. You've prioritized virtue over convenience, and that's something to be proud of. This practice also helps us reframe mistakes. When we fall short, instead of dwelling on regret, we can ask ourselves, what virtue could I have practiced more fully in that situation? How can I grow from this experience? This shifts the focus from self-criticism to self-improvement, turning regret into a tool for personal development. By making virtue the foundation of your actions, you create a life that feels meaningful and aligned. You're less likely to be haunted by what-ifs or if-onlys because you're living in a way that honors your highest ideals. And when challenges arise, as they inevitably will, you'll have the strength and clarity to face them with grace. As we move forward, we'll explore how to identify your core virtues and integrate them into your daily life, creating a roadmap for living with purpose and minimizing regret. This next step builds on the foundation we've laid here, helping you turn these principles into actionable habits. Now that we've established the importance of focusing on virtue, let's take the next step, identifying your core virtues. This is where the Stoic practice becomes deeply personal. Virtues aren't one size fits all. They're the principles that resonate most with who you are and who you aspire to be. To begin, take a moment to reflect on what truly matters to you. What qualities do you admire most in others? What values guide your decisions when you're at your best? These questions can help you uncover the virtues that align with your inner compass. For some, wisdom might stand out as a guiding principle, the desire to make thoughtful, well-informed choices. For others, courage could be central, especially if they're drawn to facing challenges head-on. Justice might resonate with those who feel a strong sense of fairness and responsibility toward others, while self-discipline could be a priority for those striving to master their impulses and stay focused on long-term goals. There's no right or wrong answer here. The key is to choose virtues that feel authentic and meaningful to you. Once you've identified your core virtues, the next step is to translate them into actionable habits. Start small. If wisdom is one of your virtues, you might commit to spending a few minutes each day reflecting on your decisions and learning from them. If courage is a priority, challenge yourself to step outside your comfort zone in small but meaningful ways, whether it's speaking up in a meeting or tackling a task you've been avoiding. For those who value justice, look for opportunities to act with fairness and kindness in your daily interactions, even when it's inconvenient. And if self-discipline is your focus, set clear boundaries for yourself, like limiting distractions or sticking to a routine that supports your goals. The beauty of this practice is that it's not about perfection, it's about progress. Every day presents new opportunities to live in alignment with your virtues. When you stumble, as we all do, don't let regret take over. Instead, ask yourself, how can I realign with my virtues moving forward? This mindset turns setbacks into stepping stones, helping you grow stronger and more resilient over time. As you integrate these virtues into your life, you'll notice a shift in how you experience regret. Instead of feeling weighed down by past mistakes, you'll find yourself more focused on the present moment and the choices you can make right now. Living virtuously becomes a source of confidence and peace, knowing that you're doing your best to honor what matters most to you. With your core virtues in place, you're ready to explore the next practice, letting go of the past. This builds on the foundation we've laid here, helping you release what no longer serves you and move forward with clarity and purpose. Now that we've laid the foundation of living in alignment with your virtues, let's turn our attention to a practice that can profoundly transform how you relate to your past, letting go. The Stoics teach us that the past is unchangeable. What's done is done, and no amount of regret can alter it. This might sound simple, but it's a truth that can be incredibly liberating when fully embraced. The key is to shift your focus from what you cannot change to what you can, the present moment and the choices you make right now. Regret often stems from dwelling on past mistakes or missed opportunities, replaying them in your mind as if you could somehow rewrite history. But the Stoics remind us that this is not only futile but also harmful. Clinging to the past keeps you stuck, draining your energy and preventing you from moving forward. Instead, they encourage us to accept the past as it is, not as we wish it had been. This doesn't mean ignoring or dismissing your experiences. It means acknowledging them without letting them define or control you. One powerful Stoic exercise for letting go is to remind yourself of the impermanence of all things. Just as the seasons change, so do the circumstances of your life. What feels like a monumental failure or loss today may one day be seen as a turning point or a lesson. By adopting this perspective, you can begin to see your past not as a source of regret, but as a collection of experiences that have shaped who you are. This shift in mindset allows you to release the weight of what's behind you and focus on what lies ahead. Another Stoic principle that supports letting go is the idea of focusing on what's within your control. You can't change what happened yesterday, but you can choose how you respond to it today. For example, if you regret a missed opportunity, instead of dwelling on it, ask yourself, what can I do now to create new opportunities? If you're haunted by a past mistake, reflect on what you've learned from it and how you can apply that wisdom moving forward. This proactive approach turns regret into a catalyst for growth rather than a burden. Letting go of the past also involves practicing self-compassion. It's easy to be harsh on yourself for things you wish you'd done differently, but the Stoics remind us that we're all human. Mistakes are inevitable, and they're often our greatest teachers. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you can release the guilt and shame that often accompany regret. This doesn't mean excusing poor behavior. It means recognizing that you're a work in progress, just like everyone else. As you begin to let go of the past, you'll notice a sense of lightness and freedom. Regret loses its grip, and you're able to fully engage with the present moment. This doesn't happen overnight, of course. It's a practice that requires patience and persistence. But with time, you'll find that the past no longer holds you back. Instead, it becomes a source of wisdom and strength, guiding you toward a more intentional and fulfilling life. With this mindset in place, you're ready to explore the next practice, mindfulness. This builds on the foundation of letting go, helping you stay grounded in the present and fully engaged with the life you're living right now. Now that we've explored the importance of letting go of the past, let's dive into some practical techniques to help you release what no longer serves you. One powerful exercise is forgiveness meditation. This practice involves sitting quietly, closing your eyes, and bringing to mind a person or situation from your past that still weighs on you. Instead of replaying the hurt or regret, focus on cultivating a sense of forgiveness, not because what happened was okay, but because holding onto resentment only harms you. Visualize releasing the emotional weight as if you're setting down a heavy burden. This simple act can create space for peace and healing. Another effective technique is writing a letter to your past self. This might sound unusual, but it's a deeply therapeutic way to process regret. Imagine sitting down with the version of you who made the mistake or missed the opportunity. What would you say to them? Would you offer comfort, advice, or reassurance? Writing this letter allows you to reflect on your growth and acknowledge that you did the best you could with the knowledge and resources you had at the time. It's a way to extend compassion to yourself and close the chapter on lingering regrets. You can also try the Stoic practice of reframing your past experiences. Take a moment to revisit a regretful event and ask yourself, what did I learn from this? How did it shape me into the person I am today? By shifting your perspective, you can transform regret into gratitude for the lessons it brought. This doesn't mean you have to celebrate the pain, but it does mean recognizing that even difficult experiences contribute to your growth. Finally, consider creating a ritual to symbolize letting go. This could be as simple as writing down your regrets on a piece of paper and then burning or tearing it up. The physical act of releasing the paper can help reinforce your intention to move forward. Rituals like this can be deeply meaningful, serving as a tangible reminder that the past no longer has power over you. As you practice these techniques, remember that letting go is a process, not a one-time event. Be patient with yourself and celebrate the small steps you take toward freedom from regret. Each effort you make brings you closer to living fully in the present, unburdened by what's behind you. And with this newfound clarity, you're ready to explore the next practice, mindfulness, which builds on the foundation of letting go to help you stay grounded and fully engaged in the life you're living right now. Now that we've explored the power of letting go, let's turn our attention to the next practice, mindfulness. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, though it's often associated with modern meditation practices. At its core, mindfulness is about being fully present in the moment, free from distractions or judgments. For the Stoics, this meant focusing on what is happening right now, rather than dwelling on past regrets or worrying about future uncertainties. By anchoring yourself in the present, you can break the cycle of rumination that often fuels regret. Stoicism teaches us that the past is unchangeable and the future is uncertain, so the only moment we truly have control over is the present. Mindfulness aligns perfectly with this idea. When you practice mindfulness, you train your mind to observe your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them. This creates a sense of detachment, allowing you to respond to life's challenges with clarity and calm, rather than reacting impulsively out of regret or anxiety. One way to think about mindfulness in a Stoic context is to imagine your mind as a calm lake. When you're caught up in regret, it's like throwing stones into the water. Each thought creates ripples that disturb the surface. Mindfulness helps you stop throwing those stones. Instead, you observe the ripples without judgment, letting them settle naturally. Over time, this practice helps you cultivate a sense of inner peace, even in the face of difficult emotions. To bring mindfulness into your daily life, start with something simple like mindful breathing. Take a few moments each day to focus on your breath, noticing the sensation of air entering and leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, which it inevitably will, gently guide your attention back to your breath without criticizing yourself. This small act of returning to the present moment is the essence of mindfulness, and it's a skill that grows stronger with practice. Another way to practice mindfulness is through grounding techniques. For example, pause throughout your day to notice your surroundings. What do you see, hear, or feel in this moment? By engaging your senses, you anchor yourself in the here and now, pulling your focus away from regrets about the past or worries about the future. This simple shift in attention can have a profound impact on your emotional well-being. Mindfulness also complements the Stoic practice of focusing on what's within your control. When you're fully present, you're better able to recognize what you can influence and what you can't. This clarity helps you let go of regrets over things you couldn't have changed and empowers you to take meaningful action where you can. As you begin to incorporate mindfulness into your life, remember that it's not about achieving a perfect state of calm. It's about showing up for each moment as it is with curiosity and acceptance. Over time, this practice can help you break free from the grip of regret and live more fully in the present. And with this foundation of mindfulness, you'll be ready to explore the next practice, embracing imperfection, which builds on the idea of self-acceptance and growth. Now that we've laid the foundation for mindfulness, let's dive into some practical exercises you can start using today to bring this powerful practice into your daily life. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming. It's about finding small, intentional moments to reconnect with the present. One of the simplest and most effective ways to begin is through mindful breathing. This exercise requires nothing more than your attention and a few minutes of your time. Find a quiet space, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. Notice the sensation of air entering your nostrils, filling your lungs, and then leaving your body. If your mind starts to wander, and it will, gently guide your focus back to your breath without judgment. This act of returning to the present moment is the heart of mindfulness, and it's a skill that strengthens with practice. Another powerful technique is the 5 senses grounding exercise. This is especially helpful when you're feeling overwhelmed or caught up in regret. Take a moment to pause and engage each of your senses one by one. What do you see around you? What sounds can you hear, even if they're subtle? Notice any textures or temperatures you can feel with your hands or feet. Take a deep breath and pay attention to any sense in the air. If you have a drink or snack nearby, take a moment to savor its taste. This exercise anchors you in the present by shifting your focus to the here and now, pulling you away from unproductive thoughts about the past or future. For those who prefer a more structured approach, body scan meditation is another excellent mindfulness practice. Start by sitting or lying down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the top of your head. Slowly move your focus down through your body, noticing any sensations, tension, or areas of relaxation. Pay attention to your forehead, your shoulders, your arms, and so on, all the way down to your toes. This practice not only grounds you in the present, but also helps you become more aware of how your body responds to stress or regret, giving you valuable insights into your emotional state. If you're someone who enjoys movement, walking meditation can be a great way to incorporate mindfulness into your routine. Choose a quiet path or even just a small space in your home. As you walk, focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the movement of your body. If your mind starts to drift, gently bring your attention back to the physical experience of walking. This practice combines mindfulness with gentle physical activity, making it a great option for those who find it hard to sit still. Finally, consider integrating mindfulness into everyday activities. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or waiting in line, use these moments as opportunities to practice presence. Pay attention to the sensations, sounds, and movements involved in the task. By turning routine activities into mindfulness exercises, you can weave this practice seamlessly into your day without needing to set aside extra time. Remember, the goal of mindfulness isn't to empty your mind or achieve a state of perfect calm. It's about cultivating awareness and acceptance of the present moment, no matter what it brings. As you explore these exercises, be patient with yourself. Like any skill, mindfulness takes time to develop, but the benefits reduced regret, greater clarity, and a deeper sense of peace are well worth the effort. With these tools in hand, you're ready to take the next step in your Stoic journey, embracing imperfection, where we'll explore how self-acceptance and growth go hand in hand. Now that we've explored how mindfulness can anchor us in the present, let's turn our attention to a powerful Stoic practice that helps us make peace with our flaws, embracing imperfection. At its core, Stoicism teaches us that being human means being imperfect. We all make mistakes, fall short of our goals, and face moments of weakness. But rather than seeing these as failures, Stoicism invites us to view them as natural parts of the human experience. This shift in perspective can be transformative, especially when it comes to overcoming regret. Regret often stems from holding ourselves to impossibly high standards. We look back at our actions and think, "I should have done better," or "I should have known better." But the truth is, perfection is an illusion. No one gets everything right all the time, and expecting ourselves to do so only leads to unnecessary self-criticism and disappointment. By embracing imperfection, we free ourselves from this cycle of regret and open the door to self-compassion and growth. The Stoics believed that our imperfections are not obstacles to a good life but opportunities for learning and improvement. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself that even the wisest and most virtuous people make mistakes. What matters is not whether we're perfect, but whether we're striving to live with integrity and purpose. When we accept that imperfection is part of the journey, we can approach our mistakes with curiosity rather than shame. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, we can ask ourselves, "What can I learn from this?" Or, "How can I do better next time?" This mindset doesn't mean ignoring our flaws or giving up on self-improvement. On the contrary, it encourages us to take responsibility for our actions while recognizing that growth is a gradual process. It's about progress, not perfection. For example, if you regret a harsh word spoken in anger instead of berating yourself, you can reflect on what triggered your reaction and how you might respond differently in the future. This approach not only reduces regret but also empowers you to make meaningful changes. One practical way to embrace imperfection is through journaling. At the end of each day, take a few moments to reflect on your actions and decisions. Acknowledge where you fell short, but also celebrate the steps you took toward your goals, no matter how small. This practice helps you see your imperfections in the context of your overall growth, reminding you that every misstep is a chance to learn and improve. Another powerful exercise is to reframe your self-talk. When you catch yourself thinking, "I'm such a failure," pause and replace that thought with, "I'm a work in progress." This simple shift can help you cultivate a more compassionate and realistic view of yourself. Over time, you'll find that embracing imperfection not only reduces regret, but also deepens your sense of self-acceptance and resilience. As we move forward, remember that imperfection is not something to fear or avoid. It's a natural part of being human. By embracing it, we can let go of the weight of regret and focus on what truly matters, living a life of purpose, growth, and virtue. And with this mindset, we're ready to explore the next practice, the art of detachment, where we'll learn how to free ourselves from the grip of outcomes and focus on what we can control. Now that we've explored how embracing imperfection can free us from the weight of regret, let's take this idea a step further by celebrating progress over perfection. In a world that often glorifies flawless achievements, it's easy to overlook the small but meaningful steps we take every day. Stoicism reminds us that growth isn't about reaching an unattainable ideal, it's about moving forward one step at a time. By shifting our focus from perfection to progress, we can transform how we view our efforts and setbacks, turning regret into motivation. One practical way to celebrate progress is by tracking your small wins. These don't have to be grand accomplishments. They can be as simple as showing up for a task, resisting an unhelpful impulse, or making a thoughtful decision. At the end of each day, take a moment to acknowledge these victories, no matter how minor they may seem. Write them down in a journal or simply reflect on them mentally. This practice helps you recognize that even when things don't go perfectly, you're still making strides toward your goals. Over time, this habit builds confidence and reinforces the idea that progress, not perfection, is what truly matters. Another powerful way to reframe failures is by seeing them as learning opportunities. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of dwelling on what went wrong, ask yourself, "What can I take away from this experience?" For example, if you regret a missed deadline, reflect on what led to the delay and how you can better manage your time in the future. By focusing on the lessons rather than the loss, you turn setbacks into stepping stones for growth. This approach aligns with the Stoic belief that every challenge, no matter how difficult, carries the potential for wisdom and improvement. It's also helpful to remind yourself that progress is rarely linear. Some days you'll take 2 steps forward, and other days you might take 1 step back. That's okay. What's important is that you keep moving. When you feel discouraged, look back at how far you've come rather than fixating on how far you have to go. Celebrate the effort you've put in, even if the results aren't perfect. This mindset not only reduces regret but also fosters resilience, helping you stay motivated even when the path ahead feels uncertain. Finally, consider sharing your progress with others. Whether it's a trusted friend, a mentor, or an online community, talking about your journey can provide encouragement and accountability. It's a reminder that you're not alone in your struggles and that every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. By embracing progress over perfection, you create a life filled with purpose, growth, and self-compassion, a life where regret has no place to linger. As we move forward, let's carry this mindset into the next practice, the art of detachment, where we'll explore how letting go of outcomes can help us focus on what truly matters. Now that we've embraced the idea of celebrating progress over perfection, let's turn our attention to the art of detachment. This Stoic practice invites us to shift our focus from the outcomes of our actions to the effort we put into them. It's about recognizing that while we can control our intentions and actions, we cannot always control the results. By detaching from specific outcomes, we free ourselves from the regret that often comes when things don't go as planned. Detachment doesn't mean we stop caring about what happens. Instead, it's about understanding that our worth isn't tied to the success or failure of our endeavors. For example, imagine you've worked hard on a project at work, but it doesn't receive the recognition you hoped for. Instead of dwelling on the disappointment, you can focus on the effort you invested, the skills you developed, and the lessons you learned. This mindset helps you appreciate the process rather than fixating on the outcome, reducing the sting of regret. One way to practice detachment is by setting intentions without attaching yourself to specific results. Before starting a task, remind yourself that your goal is to do your best, not to achieve a particular outcome. This could be as simple as saying, "I will give this my full effort, and whatever happens, I'll accept it." By doing this, you create a mental space where you're less likely to feel regret if things don't go your way. Instead, you'll feel proud of the effort you put in, regardless of the result. Another helpful technique is to reflect on the unpredictability of life. The Stoics often reminded themselves that external events are beyond their control, and this perspective can be incredibly freeing. When you accept that life is full of uncertainties, you're less likely to feel regret over outcomes that didn't align with your expectations. Instead, you'll focus on what you can control, your actions, your attitude, and your response to whatever happens. Detachment also encourages us to see setbacks as opportunities for growth rather than sources of regret. When something doesn't go as planned, instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" you can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective helps you move forward with resilience and curiosity, rather than getting stuck in regret. Over time, this practice builds a sense of inner peace as you learn to value your efforts and intentions more than the outcomes they produce. As we continue, we'll explore how this mindset connects to the next practice, learning from mistakes. By embracing detachment, we create a foundation for turning regret into valuable lessons, helping us grow stronger and wiser with every experience. Now that we've explored the philosophy behind detachment, let's dive into some practical ways to cultivate this mindset in your daily life. One effective method is to start your day by setting intentions rather than rigid goals. For instance, instead of saying, "I need to finish this project perfectly," you might say, I will focus on doing my best today, no matter the outcome. This subtle shift helps you prioritize effort over results, reducing the pressure to achieve a specific outcome and minimizing regret if things don't go as planned. Another way to practice detachment is through mindfulness exercises. Take a moment each day to pause and observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. When you notice yourself becoming overly attached to a particular result, gently remind yourself that you can only control your actions, not the outcome. This simple act of awareness can help you let go of unnecessary stress and regret. You can also apply detachment in your relationships. For example, if you're helping a friend or family member through a difficult situation, focus on offering support and kindness rather than trying to control how they respond or whether they follow your advice. By detaching from their reaction, you free yourself from disappointment and regret, allowing you to be fully present for them without expecting anything in return. Reflecting on past experiences can also strengthen your ability to detach. Think about a time when you were deeply attached to a specific outcome, only to feel regret when it didn't happen. Now consider how you might approach a similar situation differently by focusing on your effort and intentions rather than the result. This exercise helps you build resilience and prepares you to handle future challenges with a detached mindset. Finally, consider incorporating Stoic journaling into your routine. At the end of each day, write about moments when you felt attached to outcomes and how you practiced letting go. This reflection not only reinforces the habit of detachment, but also helps you track your progress over time, turning regret into a tool for growth. As we move forward, we'll explore how this practice of detachment naturally leads us to the next Stoic principle, learning from mistakes. By mastering detachment, you'll find it easier to view setbacks as opportunities for growth, transforming regret into valuable lessons that shape your journey. Now, let's shift our focus to a powerful Stoic practice that transforms how we perceive our missteps, learning from mistakes. The Stoics believed that mistakes are not failures but opportunities for growth. This perspective reframes regret as a teacher, guiding us toward wisdom and self-improvement. Instead of dwelling on what went wrong, we can ask ourselves, what can this experience teach me? This simple shift in mindset turns regret into a tool for personal development. Consider this: every mistake carries a lesson, whether it's about patience, resilience, or self-awareness. For example, if you regret a decision that led to a setback, reflect on what you learned about your decision-making process. Did you act impulsively? Were you overly influenced by external pressures? By analyzing the situation, you gain insights that help you make better choices in the future. This is the essence of Stoic growth, using regret as a mirror to see where you can improve. The Stoics also remind us that mistakes are an inevitable part of being human. No one is perfect, and expecting perfection only sets us up for disappointment. Instead of beating yourself up over past errors, embrace them as stepping stones on your journey. Think of it this way: every mistake is a chance to practice virtues like humility, courage, and perseverance. When you stumble, you're not failing, you're learning how to rise stronger. To put this into practice, try this exercise. The next time you feel regret, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. First, what happened? Second, what did I learn from this experience? And third, how can I apply this lesson moving forward? This structured reflection helps you extract value from your mistakes, turning regret into actionable wisdom. Over time, you'll find that your missteps become less about pain and more about progress. By adopting this Stoic approach, you'll start to see mistakes not as burdens but as gifts. They reveal your blind spots, challenge your assumptions, and push you to grow. And as you grow, regret loses its sting, replaced by a sense of purpose and direction. So, the next time you face a setback, remember, it's not the end of the road, it's a detour leading you to a better version of yourself. As we continue, we'll explore how this mindset of learning from mistakes naturally leads us to the next practice, cultivating self-compassion. By embracing our imperfections, we create space for kindness and understanding, further reducing the weight of regret. Now, let's take this idea of learning from mistakes a step further by turning regret into actionable lessons. One of the most effective ways to do this is through structured reflection. Start by setting aside a few minutes to revisit a past mistake or regret. Instead of letting emotions take over, approach it with curiosity and a desire to grow. Ask yourself, what went wrong and why? This isn't about assigning blame, but understanding the factors that contributed to the outcome. Next, identify the lessons. What did this experience teach you about yourself, your habits, or your decision-making? Maybe you realized you need to slow down and think things through, or perhaps you discovered a boundary you need to set. Write these lessons down. This act of putting them into words helps solidify your understanding and makes the insights more tangible. Once you've identified the lessons, create an action plan. Ask yourself, what can I do differently next time? For example, if you regret a moment of impulsiveness, your action plan might include pausing before making decisions or seeking advice from someone you trust. If you regret not speaking up in a situation, your plan could involve practicing assertiveness or preparing your thoughts in advance. The key is to turn your insights into concrete steps that guide your future behavior. Another powerful exercise is to reframe your mistakes as experiments. Think of them as opportunities to test your assumptions and learn what works and what doesn't. This mindset shift takes the pressure off perfection and encourages a growth-oriented approach. Instead of saying, "I failed," you can say, "I discovered something new." This perspective not only reduces regret but also fosters resilience and creativity. Finally, share your lessons with others. Talking about what you've learned not only reinforces your own understanding but can also inspire those around you. It creates a culture of growth and openness where mistakes are seen as valuable stepping stones rather than sources of shame. By turning regret into lessons, you transform what could have been a source of pain into a catalyst for growth. Each mistake becomes a stepping stone, guiding you toward a wiser, more intentional version of yourself. And as we move forward, we'll explore how this practice of learning from regret naturally leads us to the next Stoic practice, cultivating self-compassion, where we learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and understanding we offer others. Now, let's shift our focus to a practice that brings warmth and understanding into the Stoic framework, self-compassion. While Stoicism is often associated with discipline and resilience, it also deeply values kindness toward oneself. This might seem surprising at first, but the Stoics believe that treating yourself with the same care and understanding you offer others is essential for overcoming regret and fostering inner peace. Self-compassion begins with recognizing that you are human, and humans are imperfect by nature. Mistakes, failures, and regrets are not signs of weakness but part of the shared human experience. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself for past actions, try to approach your regrets with a sense of understanding. Ask yourself, if a close friend came to me with this regret, how would I respond? Chances are you'd offer them kindness, encouragement, and a reminder that they're doing their best. Why not extend that same compassion to yourself? One way to practice self-compassion is through positive self-talk. When regret arises, notice the tone of your inner dialogue. Are you speaking to yourself with harshness or judgment? If so, gently reframe those thoughts. For example, instead of saying, "I can't believe I messed that up," try, "I made a mistake, but I'm learning from it, and that's what matters." This shift in language can profoundly impact how you feel about yourself and your past. Another powerful exercise is to write a letter to your past self. Imagine you're speaking to the version of you who experienced the regret. What would you say to comfort and encourage them? This practice not only helps you process emotions, but also reinforces the idea that you deserve kindness even from yourself. It's a reminder that growth comes from understanding, not self-punishment. Stoicism teaches us that self-compassion isn't about excusing poor behavior or avoiding responsibility. It's about acknowledging your humanity and using that awareness to move forward with clarity and purpose. By treating yourself with kindness, you reduce the emotional weight of regret and create space for growth and healing. As we continue, we'll explore how this practice of self-compassion naturally leads us to the next Stoic principle, embracing imperfection, where we'll learn to celebrate progress over perfection and find freedom in accepting our flaws. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively build self-compassion into our daily lives. One of the simplest yet most effective ways to start is by practicing positive self-talk. When regret or self-doubt creeps in, pay attention to the way you speak to yourself. Are your thoughts filled with criticism or judgment? If so, try to gently redirect them. For instance, instead of thinking, "I'll never get this right," you might say, "I'm still learning and that's okay." This small shift in language can make a big difference in how you perceive yourself and your experiences. Another powerful tool is writing affirmations. These are short, positive statements that reinforce self-worth and resilience. For example, you might write, "I am capable of growth," or "I deserve kindness even from myself." Repeating these affirmations daily can help rewire your mindset, replacing negative self-talk with encouragement and self-acceptance. Keep them somewhere visible, like on your mirror or phone, so they serve as constant reminders of your value. You can also try a practice called self-compassion breaks. When you're feeling overwhelmed by regret, pause for a moment and place your hand over your heart. Take a deep breath and say something kind to yourself, like, "This is hard, but I'm doing my best." This physical gesture combined with compassionate words can help soothe your emotions and remind you that you're not alone in your struggles. Journaling is another excellent way to cultivate self-compassion. Set aside a few minutes each day to write about your feelings without judgment. Acknowledge your regrets, but also highlight your efforts and progress. For example, you might write, "Today, I felt disappointed about a mistake I made, but I also recognized how much I've grown since then." This practice helps you see the bigger picture and appreciate your journey, flaws and all. Finally, consider creating a self-compassion mantra. This is a phrase or sentence that resonates with you and serves as a quick reminder to be kind to yourself. It could be something like, "I am enough as I am," or "Every mistake is a step toward growth." Repeat this mantra whenever you need a boost of self-compassion, especially during challenging moments. By incorporating these practices into your routine, you'll gradually build a stronger foundation of self-compassion. This not only helps you overcome regret, but also empowers you to face future challenges with greater resilience and kindness toward yourself. As we move forward, we'll explore how embracing imperfection can further deepen this sense of self-acceptance and freedom. As we wrap up our exploration of the 25 Stoic practices for overcoming regret, it's clear that these timeless principles offer more than just philosophical insights. They provide practical tools for transforming how we think, feel, and live. From understanding the dichotomy of control to embracing imperfection, each practice builds on the others to create a powerful framework for resilience and self-acceptance. Together, they remind us that regret doesn't have to define us. Instead, it can become a stepping stone for growth, a teacher that guides us toward a more intentional and fulfilling life. By focusing on what's within our control, reflecting on the impermanence of life, and learning to love our fate, we can shift our perspective and find peace in the present moment. Practices like journaling, gratitude, and mindfulness help us process our emotions and stay grounded, while self-compassion and detachment allow us to release the weight of past mistakes. These tools, rooted in Stoic wisdom, empower us to live with greater clarity, purpose, and freedom. Now it's your turn to put these practices into action. Start small, choose one or two that resonate with you and incorporate them into your daily routine. Whether it's journaling about your experiences, practicing gratitude, or simply reminding yourself of the view from above, each step you take brings you closer to a life free from the burden of regret. And remember, growth is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself as you navigate this path. We'd love to hear about your experiences. Which of these Stoic practices have you tried? How have they helped you overcome regret or shift your mindset? Share your thoughts and stories in the comments below. Your insights might inspire someone else on their journey. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more content like this. Together, let's embrace the wisdom of Stoicism and create lives filled with meaning, resilience, and joy. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.